Hello everyone and welcome back to Gecques Enter the Gecko, and welcome to the bonus video. In this bonus video I'll be showing you the level in the N64 version that's not in the PlayStation version, which is Gecques Costeau, and I'll be showing you the British voice actor for the game. We'll be playing the British version of the game. To get to Gecques Costeau, this is the part where there's 3 levels: Mazed and Confused, Lava Dabba Doo, and Texas Chainsaw Miniature. So let's get into Gecques Costeau. Okay. This is a pretty straightforward level. It's mostly underground. It's not entirely... well, not underground, underwater. It's... most of the level takes place underwater. I'm not going to go for the reward controller, but if you must know, the collectibles are unique. The first collectible is obviously starfish. The second one is a treasure chest, or booty. And the last one is Kate Winslet's brooch, like the harp pendant she has in the movie, in the Titanic movie. So these are the collectibles of the game, of this particular level. It's unique to this level. As you can see, the music is pretty much the same, although there is one piece of music that is different.
Slip of the tongue.
That particular music we'll be hearing right now, actually. Now, in regards of how the game plays, it doesn't play that much different. The camera is still pretty bad, I'd say. It's not the best camera we deal with. The camera is pretty much the same, essentially. This is the jingle I was mentioning. I don't think this jingle was in Gecques Enter the Gecko, for the PlayStation version, I mean. I don't think it is. And also, Gecques does repeat himself a lot more in this version, I've noticed. It doesn't have as many unique dialogue as he has. It doesn't have as much unique dialogue as he has in the other ones. This is a maze. The other paths that I'm not taking take to dead ends. If we go left, we go to the TV. However, to get the secret controller, if that tickles your fancy, or you know, your armpits, if you're ticklish, the silver controller, the silver hidden controller is actually here. Just gotta get to the surface. And underwater he does this jingle. Well, not jingle, this dance. He does this weird dance when he grabs a controller, or when he grabs, you know, he gets alive from collecting the collectibles, which I think it's funny. There wasn't any strictly underwater levels in the...
A little tongue now, a lot of tail later.
I don't think there was any underwater levels in Gecques in the other version. In order to get the last one, we gotta go swimming up top here. If you follow these bubbles, you should find the entrance pretty easily. It's this big gap here in the hull. In order to progress, what we gotta do is we gotta hit the switch, which is fun and games. And then we gotta hit this. So this is pretty much the big difference, since we didn't have any underwater levels whatsoever in the other version. There might have been, and I just don't remember. There might have been a underwater portion of a level, and I just don't remember right now. But I'm pretty sure that, like, a strictly mostly underwater level, like water team level, there wasn't any in the PlayStation version or the PC version either, because this is exclusive to this version. By the way, the original Gecques for the 3DO is available on GOG if you wanna see what it's like. As soon as I have the opportunity, I'll actually probably grab it myself and play it. Maybe one day I'll appear it, as I mentioned. The platforming sometimes can be just as hard. Although if you take your time, you should be fine. Our objective right now is to get to this thing here and drop down. And tight spaces here. It feels a little less uncontrollable in this version. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe it has to do something with the sensitivity of the N64 pad. Yeah, we can actually see there's the collectibles that are in this level. Maybe it has to do with the sensitivity of the N64 pad and the PlayStation pad. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just in my head. I don't want to save anything, sorry. But anyway, that was the level. Right now we're gonna jump into the PlayStation version, the PAL version, the European version of this game for the PlayStation. So I'll see you guys in a second.
Since retiring from the public eye, I have resigned myself to a life of solitude. For 2 years, I started my day watching supermarkets sweep. Days, then weeks, blurred into one long, sorry afternoon chat show. The next thing I know, some government goons show up at my house. Seems they've caught a whiff of old Mr. Sunshine himself. Rare. He's back in the media dimension, and they think I'm crazy enough to go back in after him. So they whisk me away to Interrogation 101. They play rough. Start giving me the business. I give a little back. So, we negotiate a little something to cover my expenses. They throw in one of those secret agent suits, and I tell them we've got a deal. Looks like I'm heading back into the media dimension. There's going to be deja, ouch, all over again. Nice try, big boy.
Okay, here we are. As you probably noticed, the voice is a lot different than a goat. His voice is a lot smoother and deeper. I guess they went for more a James Bond vibe with Gecques. Honestly, my opinion is that doesn't fit the character well. I know
Oh, I see. Hello, ladies.
I know I've grown up with Dana Goat's version of Gecques, you know? So I might be a little bit biased in regards to his voice. But I still don't feel like the guy who did the voice, because in case you don't know, the guy who did the voice is a guy named Leslie Phillips. He's been in a ton of movies and television programs during his life. However, the thing that most people like my age and younger will probably recognize him from is he was the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter. And honestly, his voice doesn't fit Gecques pretty much at all, I feel like. Again, my opinion, but feel free to state your opinion in the comments. Maybe Loma5, if he watches this, he can give me his opinion on Gecques' voice. Maybe he played this game on the N64, or
You never knock me down.
maybe he played this game on the N64 or the PlayStation and he knows the character. Or he can just, or you can, you know, just, you've heard here, and during this video, both voices. And you can tell me what you feel, what you think. Again, personally, I don't feel like his voice fits. But again, that's my personal opinion, so whatever, I know, you know what they say. Opinions are like assholes, everyone's got one. But anyway, it's... And I died. Well, I just hit the checkpoint, so it doesn't really matter at all. The game's pretty much unchanged aside from the voice and, you know, the quips. Because American pop... Like lines that are popular from American programs and movies probably wouldn't fit in well with the European crowd. So they did a more,
Now cut that out.
I guess, familiar version. Although
Hoo-ha.
he doesn't seem to quote a lot of movies and use a lot of pop culture in this version. From what the brief parts I heard, he doesn't seem to quote pop culture a whole lot like he does in the other version. But I don't know. And actually in Deep Cover Gecko they changed the voice actor.
Ravishing.
In the sequel, Deep Cover Gecko, the guy who did the voice is actually, I think his name is Danny Johnny Jules or something like that. He's actually Cat from Red Dwarf. That's his like big thing, the biggest thing I guess he's been in. Maybe not. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass. Maybe he did other big stuff, but that's, you know, the thing he's most well known for. But, and I haven't gotten to hear it yet. And I'm not gonna show it here because, you know, one day I will be Let's Playing Deep Cover Gecko. Not the next one, but one day. And I wanna, you know, actually I'm gonna do a level on Screen TV. And I'll show it then.
Darling, sweetie.
Now a bit of my opinion is that
Now who would live in a room like this?
no pop culture at all. It feels kind of bland and boring. I don't know. Maybe it would fit better with British humor. I don't know. But my opinion is that they went too James Bond-esque. At times, Gecques in this version sounds kind of creepy. Not gonna lie. But still, in my opinion, Gecques was always like more of a darky guy that got lucky and transported himself to the media dimension. And this voice doesn't represent that at all. And to be honest, I don't know who else they could have put it in place. I mean, if it were me, I'd just do Dana Gould. I just do his voice for the British version, but I guess the pop culture wouldn't translate well. Maybe that's what they thought of. They thought when they decided to get a British voice actor for the European version. Even though again, it doesn't really. I don't really feel. I'm not really feeling that voice. This voice for Gecques. I think Raz is the same. I'm not sure. It sounds the same. But it's probably because it's a heavily processed voice, so it doesn't really matter.
Have some of that.
See? It doesn't really feel like Gecques to me. I know it. I say that because I play the American version more, but it doesn't really feel like Gecques to me. Ah, you almost caught me, huh? Anyway. But again, if you want, tell me your opinion in the comments. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer...
Hope they don't need ID.
Do you prefer Dana Gould's voice for Gecques? Or do you prefer Leslie Phillips? Wait, tell me in the comments what you like more. I am very interested to know, like, people's opinion on this, especially people who actually played this in Europe when they were kids, or now, whatever. You don't have to be a kid to play this game. Anyway, I'm very interested in hearing what you think. And for now, I'll leave you guys off here. This is the last Gecques video I'll be doing, unless I need to mend something later. But this should be the last Gecques video I'll be doing. For the next game, I have no idea what I'm doing yet. I have a whole week off to think about it. So I'll see you guys then on the next LP. On the flip side. Tip of the tongue, baby. Bye-bye.